Hi, this is Ashley Sullivan, and this is my first ever vlog, so bear with me as I totally read from a script that I wrote. One's religious identity is truly a center of who they are. As George Day put it, one's identity is a lens through which one reads and responds to the world. Young learners understand everyday issues in their homes and communities in terms of who they are, who they seem to be, and where they feel they belong and are allowed to belong. The part of that quote I would like to focus on comes at the very end, allowed to belong. Religious discrimination is perpetuated and facilitated by negative societal messages and stereotypes of the mainstream society, which in the United States is middle-class white Christian America. In the public school system, religion is a touchy subject to begin with because most talk of religion is not welcome in the classroom, which I find ironic. As we attempt to value and celebrate others' roots and cultures, we ignore or have to tiptoe around how someone defines themselves at their core. But I think ignorance and fear are the biggest hindrance for a teacher in regards to community building in the classroom when it comes to religion. To quote Layla Shatara, "The more I learned, the less I agreed with the status quo. There is injustice inherent in the system, and we must all work to overcome it, especially teachers." And I definitely share that same view, especially as I study and become more educated myself through this course. The more I learn to challenge my own thoughts, perspectives, and the status quo. For those of you who are watching this vlog that did not have the topic of religion, we read about a girl who was Muslim and had arrived to the United States from Jordan. This past school year, I had a little boy in my 5th grade class who was Muslim who also arrived from Jordan. When September 11th came around, we ended up having a whole class conversation very much like the one that we read about. A child in my class stated that Muslim terrorists were responsible for the attacks that day, and someone else chimed in that all Muslims are terrorists. I highly doubt that this child, this young boy who said that, put two and two together, that his friend next to him in his class was Muslim. But me, personally, I was terrified at this point. What do I do? What do I say? Think fast. How are you going to appropriately handle this? And it kind of makes me think today, reflecting back on our LGBTQ unit, about how the absolute worst thing you can do in that kind of a situation would be to stay silent and be passive, which, thank goodness, I can at least say that I was not. I don't know if all that I said was correct or it was the best way to handle the situation, but at least I didn't choose silence. So during that class discussion, in a nutshell, I hit the points that evil comes in all shapes, forms, sizes, religions, cultures, colors, etc. But I can't lie, I was sweating bullets that this poor child was going to feel uncomfortable, ostracized, or discriminated. As a teacher, I was very fearful of discussing this with my students because I know that the role of the teacher, it can't be underestimated. Truly, children are very impressionable and fragile, and we hold a lot of power in the classroom. But we as educators, even if we're fearful, we need to act. I do believe that change is possible and that it will have to begin in the classroom. I believe that this is the growth mindset educators need to take on, the act now mentality, to foster a more inclusive environment for marginalized students in their classroom. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching.